This week we are talking about our go-to social media. What are your go-to platforms? Who do you follow for inspiration? Stay tuned and find out what gives us our inspiration for the Tracker Travels. If you've been following us on Instagram or YouTube for some time, you will know that we bought our motorhome to explore the UK and now venture into Europe. This for us is a hobby, it is part of our lifestyle and increasingly is a big part of our holidays, particularly with our two fur babies, Oreo and Zorro. So the adventures into Europe have become an even more important part of seeing more of the world in our motorhome. As you know, we bought our motorhome back in 2021 and we are now on our second one, our Auto Trail Tracker. And we have used social media over time both to catalogue our adventures but also to get inspiration from other users and influencers in the social media space. So who do we follow and what are our go-to socials? Well, simply we follow three main routes. That is our Instagram, where we are followed by most of you, and thank you very much, and increasingly on YouTube. And if you've not yet had chance to go and see these videos on our channel, then we would encourage you to do so as we start to catalogue our adventures, sites we visit, and some of the guides to the equipment and our tow car and such forth that we use as part of those travels too. So if you haven't had a chance yet, visit the Tracker Travels on YouTube. But our three go-tos, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And in each of those spaces, we have a number of key people we follow that give us a core set of guidance and inspiration as we go. So, Instagram is our main feed. We follow a number of influencers, motorhome users, caravanners, leisure accessory companies, all through that platform. We have moved on to Threads as an offshoot from that. How much we will use that is still to be seen, but Instagram is our core and we have now over 2,000 followers. So again, thank you very much for following our adventures. And what feeds out of Instagram is our use of Facebook and YouTube. So we do have a Facebook channel, which is Andy Jamie Tracker Travels, and we have our YouTube channel, which is the Tracker Travels. And we have certain sites that we follow a lot. So let's start with Facebook. And number one for us on Facebook is following Motorhome Happiness. This is a really important page on Facebook for us. This was set up by James Riley. I'm sure many of you will be following his page. A couple of years back, he's got over 75,000 subscribers to his Facebook now. But we really find the concept of motorhome happiness an important part of what we are also contributing to. So why is that important to us? Well, first of all, it is exactly what it says on the tin. It's motorhoming happiness. And I think that principle for the Facebook page really is demonstrated by the way that the users respect that space. That no daft question is that. You can ask what you want, you can seek guidance for what you want, and everything is done in absolutely a trustworthy, friendly, helpful way through that space. And I think that's really commendable, and I think seeing the work that James has done in building that community up whilst we haven't yet been able to get to some of his meetups and camps, what we can see is that clearly there's a big love and a passion for what that Facebook page has done. So James, if you are watching, well done mate, massive achievement, and long live that community that we feel part of now. We also follow a number of specific Facebook pages. So for example, as we've got an Auto Trail tracker, we're members of the Auto Trail Owners Group and the official Auto Trail sites. Also where we've bought the motorhome from, so Brown Hills, we follow their Facebook page, and I'll show you a few shots of those in this video in a moment. So where do we go to on YouTube, and where do we seek that nourishment and inspiration to help us with our travels? Really for us, YouTube helps bring the world of motorhome and caravanning life to life, in that whilst we are members of the Caravan and Motorhome Club and the Camping and Caravanning Club, I think the great bit about some of the YouTube channels that we follow is that we do get to see some of those independents and offbeat sites that we wouldn't ordinarily know. And I think having those site reviews and people's trusted views of those is really helpful. So first up, where do we go? So I'm going to start with the absolute legend of YouTube, the motorhome expert in my mind, and that is Bob Earnshaw. We love following Bob and Jenny and their fur baby, Poppy too, on their adventures. Bob does a great job not only of giving site reviews, and a lot of those are club sites, but there are some independents too, but Bob has got a wealth of experience in owning a motorhome. He's had many different ones from many different makes, so his knowledge around the owning and running a motorhome has been fantastic. And it was the Bob Earnshaw YouTube channel that really we used in those early days before we even bought the motorhome to explore the idea of what life owning one would be like. And we've continued to follow. And I'm sure most of you are tuned into him too. So a big shout out to Bob and Jenny. They've been a big inspiration for us, and we continue to enjoy their adventures. So who's up next on YouTube? Well, it has to be the Roaming Radfords. What we really like about the Roaming Radfords is pretty much everything on the tin of what Bob gives us with his knowledge of motorhomes, but we really like their longer adventures. And as we are starting to dip our toe in that world of travelling into Europe, what we've really liked watching are their series of videos that captured their adventures over a number of weeks in different parts of Europe. And that for us is really assuring, and it certainly helped give us the confidence to go into France earlier this year. But we also like the way that they talk about the things you can do with your motorhome, the effectiveness and usefulness of some of the accessories that they've added to their motorhome, for example, are really useful. So to Steve and Linz and the boys, big thank you. You continue to give the inspiration, and we look forward to the Morocco trip this year. Next up, we're going to give a shout out to Posh Cats, Trev and Sue. Thank you. What we like about your channel is the mix that you offer. So again, we're getting a lot of inspiration from the European tours that you have done, but also we like the site reviews from their touring around the UK and some of the places they visit. But what Trev and Sue do really nicely is their reviews of things like the motorhome shows at the NEC and the smaller shows that are around the UK, and also the way that they present their reviews of some of the motorhomes and camper vans that they see when they're at those shows. Again, when we were looking at changing our motorhome, some of their videos were really useful in building up some of that research for us. So really like what they do, really like their style. a lovely presentation of their knowledge of motorhome life. So that was our next one. Now we can't not talk about YouTube if we don't talk about Karina and Here We Tow. This has been fantastic for us because Karina has been able to cross over into both parts of our touring life, where we've had caravans and motorhomes, and fundamentally we're really appreciative of the time and the effort that Karina puts in to creating her reviews of motorhomes that are for sale, whether they're new or used, whether she is at the events for the launches of new vehicles, the style of going in detail around what each motorhome offers, and her view and her experience of both owning caravans and motorhomes really comes to life and is really beneficial. And absolutely love that they also give us a bit of that site tour as well when they go around different parts of the UK. And where I've mentioned Bob Earnshaw and the Roaming Radfords and the Posh Cats, lots of these YouTubers seem to like different parts of the world, so we get to see a whole range of sites from around the UK and Europe within these different channels. But Here We Tow in particular, that in-depth look at not just individual vehicles but a whole range of vehicles as well, particularly at launch time, is really appreciated. So big shout out for Here We Tow. Another channel for us on YouTube that we actually find quite entertaining and an easy watch is the work of the Rooks. Very nice channel, very family orientated, but the different adventures that they've already taken through owning one motorhome into the camper van and then back into a motorhome again, their take on living in this world full time has been very interesting. Working wise, not something we're ever going to get near to or do, but it gives a very different perspective on motorhome life, and they've given a cross section of insight into owning motorhomes and also building motorhomes. So if you're interested in that space of looking at creating your own camper, can highly recommend their series of videos when they put together their I think it was Vangeli, that was made out of a VW Crafter, which is a whole series of videos in their channel. So a shout out for the Rooks, a nice broad range of experience and knowledge, and some really lovely videos of their tours into Europe over the last couple of years. So bringing this back round, we continue to enjoy uploading our travels and our adventures with our auto trail and the two boys as we go around as the tracker travels, and we will continue to maintain our Instagram travel with those adventures as we go. And we have got a trip into France and Spain coming up this summer, so we certainly will have a lot of content to come for you. In terms of YouTube, we'll be adding our tour of Europe this summer as a little series of videos once again, and we will continue to offer little insights like this, particularly with the fact that we own a tow car, that we've added some additional accessories to our motorhome, so we'll perhaps do a couple of reviews in more detail of those for you as we go forward. Our YouTube channel here is very much in its early days. We've got a good 30-35 videos up there now, and some of them are getting some good hits. There's been a lot of interest in our guide to our little tow car that is on there in the channel, but please do subscribe, give us a like. We would like to grow this space a little bit more, and if in the comments below this one you'd like to give us some ideas of the sort of content you'd like to see from us, then that would very much be welcome too. So lots more to come from us. We look forward to sharing our summer adventures. Check in the Tracker Travels here on YouTube and on Instagram, and thank you for following us. It really means the world, and we really enjoy doing it. So here's to the summer.